Hey guys, it's your Creative Queen. Welcome to Create with Creative Queen, home of Tutorial Tuesday. Before we dive into today's fun, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you'll never miss a new tutorial. From cakes and cookies to foam projects and treats, we've got everything to spark your creativity. Let's get creative and make something amazing together. Hey guys, it is your Creative Queen. Let's get this started. So we are going to create custom 5 subject, 3 subject, and 1 subject notebooks. For this tutorial, we're using the Pen and Gear notebooks. These have 33 holes, and I really like the way these come out. So we also will have a tutorial on the 5-star ones, but that's not what we're doing now. But I want you to note that the 5-star ones are larger. So they are a little bit bigger, which is why that's going to be a separate tutorial. So let's get started. The best part about the Pen and Gear notebooks is that you can print on 8.5 by 11. So what I want you to do first is make sure that you've printed out your prints. If you have to pause the video, go ahead and pause it. But I've got 2 sets of prints. We're actually going to do 3 different techniques, and then I'm only going to put on 2 covers. So for the first one, I've got my 8.5 by 11 holographic laminate sheet. So these come in an array of different types of designs. This one I really like, so I'm going to use it for this one. And all you're going to do is you're going to peel back a little corner of it, and then you're going to lay it down flat onto your surface. I'm going to give you 2 techniques that you can do without using a laminator, and then I'm going to give you one that you can use using the hot version of your laminator. These can be run through the cold laminator just to ensure that they are put together, but I wanted to show you how to do it with and without a laminator, okay? So I like to turn it upside down. That way if I mess up, I'm doing it on the bottom and you really won't see it, hopefully. For me, it just works best to work from the bottom up. Do what's best for you, but this is the technique that works well for me, okay? So I'm just using my squeegee to make sure there are no air bubbles. And then I'm going to feed this through the cold lamination setting. So if you have a laminator that does cold and hot, you would just feed it through on the cold setting. And you want to make sure that you have a little piece of it sticking out first before you feed it in there so that it does not feed through with the lamination covering it. So now it's just going to pull it through. And this is just going to ensure that it's on there nice and air bubble free. You can do the same thing with a squeegee. So I'm going to feed this one through, but I'm going to do the next one after we prep this one and put it on the notebook. I'm going to do another one, but I'm going to do it with my hand, just to show you that you can do it both ways. So once this feeds through, then we're going to go ahead and prep this entire notebook, and then we'll go and do the next one, okay? That way I don't confuse you on techniques. We stick with one and we do the next one after this. So if you're not looking for this technique and you're looking for another one, then you can skip through to the next part of the video. All right, now that that's done, I'm still going to make sure there's no bubbles, so I will squeegee again. That's just a force of habit, but I just want to make sure it's on there nice and well. There's no air in between the project itself and the laminate sheet. All right, guys, now we are going to grab our cutting mat. I'm using a 12 by 12. And when I place my design on here, I'm going to place it a little bit over into the 1-inch side of it. So if you're looking from the top, you see that I'm down from 1 inch, and if you're looking from the left, I'm over, but not all the way at 1 inch. That's because when I place my image on my Cricut, I'm going to place it to where it'll cut within this template. So your design is 8 by 10 and a half, and your paper is 8.5 by 11. So we are going to use the Cricut to cut that excess off, and we're going to use it to put the holes in. So let's go over to the machine. I've got it strategically placed, which is why if you're looking here, you can see it's not exactly on the line, and that's because I'm lining up my design in Cricut to the line, or right inside the line. So we're just going to go ahead and cut this out, and then I'll meet you back over at the table. All right, guys, now that our design is cut out, we are going to place it on our one subject notebook. And remember, this can go on the pen and gear 1 subject, the pen and gear 3, or the pen and gear 5, as long as it has 33 holes. So you're going to grab the little piece at the bottom. It's got a hook that's hooking in the spiral, but you want to grab a wire cutter. And this is all about positioning your hand and positioning the cutter to where it will go through. Normally it's like one, two, maybe three squeezes, and then that piece will pop off. So be aware of where it pops off if you don't want to lose that in your office. Then you're just going to grab the top and you're just going to pull down slightly until the hook unhooks from the very top coil, and then bend that coil up gently just so that it's out of the way. And then you're just going to turn. So you're going to turn to where the coil starts unraveling from the bottom, and then it'll be an easy rollout up to the top. Okay. And you're just going to gently take it out and set it aside. I will tell you, these things tend to roll away. So place it somewhere where it's not going to roll, because I spent half an hour looking for one the other day. So it should come out easily. Go ahead and set it aside. And then you can discard the cover or keep the cover if you want, but I have no need for it, so I'm going to go ahead and discard it. And now we're going to take our design and we're going to place it on top. Okay, and we laminated it to give it a little bit more stability. It'll last a little bit longer with the lamination. You can just print it on the photo paper if you want and not worry about laminating, but I feel like the lamination gives it a little bit more protection. So now you're just going to go in reverse with your coil. You're going to stick it in, and then you're just going to rotate through the holes, making sure that you go through the back, all the pages, and the front cover. And you're just going to turn the spiral until it gets all the way down to the bottom. And this will be an easy technique for you. Once you start doing multiples, it's going to go through really quickly. So it may take getting used to for the first one or two, but once you get a rhythm, it'll be super easy. So as you get closer to the bottom, you want to remember that now we need to kind of bend back that top piece a little and hook it. Okay, make sure it hooks. If you got to use your wire cutter to do that, your plier, I'm sorry, to do that, you just want to make sure it hooks and that it's not bent awkwardly. Now we're going to go down to the bottom and we're going to find that piece that we cut, and we're just going to make sure that we're holding it and we bend it up and kind of under one of the coils. So it's out of the way. Nobody's going to get stuck with it. And it won't interfere with your notebook opening and closing. So that should be pretty easy. Just make sure you're holding one end, bend the other. And there is your notebook, guys. This is our 1 subject. It would be the same if you place this on your 3 subject or your 5 subject. All right, guys, we're back. We have our second printout, also 8.5 by 11. This time we're going to use a 9 by 12 laminating sheet. This one has no special designs on it, nothing like that. It is a clear laminate sheet. It's just going to give this piece of photo paper a little bit more protection. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold it down. This one you have a lot more wiggle room because it is smaller. The image is smaller than the 9 by 12. So if you feed this through your lamination sheet, keep in mind that on your left, right, and your bottom, as well as the top, you're going to have extra. So some laminating sheets get stuck in the laminator, which is why I kind of like doing this by hand. So you can feed it through the laminator, but I'm going to actually use my squeegee, and I'm going to take my time, guys, because this part, if you go too fast, you will mess up your design. So take your time, slowly slide your squeegee, and pull your paper back. Do not do it in one fell swoop. Okay? And this one came out really good. I don't have any bubbles. The only portion I did is I kind of have a little lip at the top where the plastic is, but that's going to get cut off, so it didn't even matter to me. Now, next step would be to place this on your Cricut mat and go ahead and cut it out in the same manner. Because we are not putting this on a notebook, I did not do that portion of the video because it's exactly the same as the first one. So now we are going to move on to the hot setting and laminating. We're going to grab a laminating pouch, and this is 9 by 12, so it's a lot bigger than your image as well. You're going to place your 8.5 by 11 inside the pocket, and you want to line it up as high as you can to the top. So it's got a little lip that it's not going to let you, but I give it a tap down and make sure it smooths out. And we want to turn our laminator onto the hot setting, guys. This is for hot laminating pouches. So I'm going to just set that aside and let it, the green light turn on, let me know it's ready. But make sure that your design is smoothed out. There's no fuzz, there's no paper strays, nothing in there that's going to get stuck when it goes through the laminator. This method I like because you're going to do both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and feed it through. I sped up the video for this portion so we don't have to watch that. But it's going to be protected on both sides. And it's still going to be able to cut through your Cricut or your Silhouette and have the holes in it. So I kind of like this method the most because it's protected on both sides. And this is going to give your notebook a lot more longevity. I love the sparkle of the self-laminating sheet, but this is the method that's I think is going to be the best. And I'm not taking you over to the Cricut, so we are going to go ahead. I already cut it out. It's the same cut method. Only difference I would tell you is to run it through your Cricut twice. So once it runs it through, press the button again before ejecting it just to make sure all your holes come out. You're going to go ahead and remove the coil in the same manner as the other ones. And all of this part is just doing it again, guys. The main thing was just showing you the 3 different techniques for getting your cover. This one, I do notice the main difference is that this coil unrolls differently. So for me, it was like, whoa, we're going the opposite direction than the one subject. So just roll your coil out, set it aside. This one's a little bit bigger than the smaller one, so it won't get lost like the other ones do. But unravel it, and then we're going to go ahead and place the new one in. All right, now that we've got that coil out, we'll go ahead and get rid of that cover. And we're going to go ahead and place our laminated on both sides, our thermal laminated cover. I like the thickness of this notebook. I like the fact that I'm going to have more paper. I write a lot, so 5 subjects are better, and that's why I wanted to do a 5 subject instead of single subjects. So you're just going to go ahead and make sure all your holes line up. You're going to grab your coil, and this one goes in from the back, so make sure it goes through that first hole. It's going to come out the front. Line up your paper, and if you hold it real tight, then you can just start rolling the spiral, and it'll go through the holes with no issue. And just continue that until you get to the bottom, and then you're going to clip it again on the top using your plier, and then curl up your bottom, and you're done. And just like I said before, guys, we're just going to repeat the same process from the beginning of the video. You're going to grab your needle nose plier. You're going to hook your hook back in. And make sure it's not bent oddly. And then you're just going to turn your coil so that it's through all the holes. And then find a position that's good for you to hold one of the wires on the bottom and also turn it up. So it took me a minute to kind of get this in a comfortable position to record and actually turn. But there we go. Guys, our notebook is done, and you've made a 1 subject and a 5 subject. I hope this video helped you. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. And stay tuned because I'm going to do the 5-star version. That video should drop shortly, okay? The main difference with the 5-star notebooks is that it does have portfolio pockets where you can actually put stuff inside. So stay tuned. I'll talk to you guys later, and I appreciate your time. Thank you. Bye.